Hey everybody, welcome back to Lemon Branch DIY. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing some tag teaming. I have asked my son-in-law to go ahead and film his 1997 GMC Sierra. He needs to replace the master cylinder in it, and I thought this would make a great video to help all of you guys out. So before we get started though, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe because we have so much good content coming out all the time on how-tos and different videos. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn the time over to him, and he's going to show us how to get it done.
All right, everybody. Doing this for my father-in-law since he asked me to, but I'm working on changing out the master cylinder on my 1997 GMC Sierra. It's kind of the first car I've ever owned, actually, and first truck I've ever owned, and I pretty much plan on never selling it because it's easy to fix and I don't have to mess with any electronics really. So this is the part we're replacing today. There's a leak back here in the grommet, so I bought a new one off of eBay. I don't think GM makes parts for this truck anymore that much. I mean, kind of, but if you want to call AC Delco genuine GM parts, but just bought one off of eBay, so we need to kind of take it off. We need to bleed the new one so there's no air in the system, and then we're gonna have to re-bleed the entire brake system. But for now we're just just going over how to replace this part. There's already plenty of videos on YouTube on how to do this, but I'm gonna try something a little bit differently where I actually bleed it on the truck because I'm actually working at my apartment complex where I don't have a bench vise to kind of bench bleed it. So I figured, there's a perfectly good working depression system inside the truck called the brake pedal. And then if I, do the same tricks and kind of the same routing for the hoses and everything, that I should be able to bleed it just fine. So that's kind of the procedure I'm going with. I've already, maybe a little bit closer right here. There are four things that you need to loosen. There's the two brake fluid hoses, and then the two bolts to actually hold it on to the truck. So there's one right here and one right here. And then I also removed this vacuum tube that goes into the vacuum right there. So I've already kind of loosened them and everything. I believe I used a 14 millimeter up here and then a 15 millimeter back there. Maybe they're American sizes. I actually don't own any American wrenches, so I'm just using, metric, and it seems to work just fine. So get that, finished up here. This does leak a little bit, like I said, I do have a leak in my master cylinder, so there isn't a ton of fluid left. So it's going to be this. Be able to kind of get this off pretty easy. Here you go. So kind of explain to you what I'm going to be doing here that that might be a little bit different than kind of videos you might have watched before, but my whole point is that generally when people are doing sort of this master cylinder bench bleeding is they'll attach a vise right here, and then they'll manually work the cylinder plunger here in order to kind of bench bleed it to get all the air out of the system, so it doesn't take way longer to bleed the rest of the brake system than you would expect, And it's a great method and all and everything. The problem is that I don't have a vise, and I can hold it, kind of by hand and then do the whole pressing myself, but it's just a little bit more challenging to do that. And so I figured, okay, well, I should be able to just go into the truck and then press the brake pedal there, to kind of do this, and then my vise will be sort of it being held in place by the studs where it usually goes. So that's kind of the method that I decided to go with because it seemed to be a little bit more stable to me. Obviously if it doesn't work, we'll have to resort to sort of the method that everybody else does, which seems to be the proper, well-respected way to do it. But I like to do things my own way, and I figured that also makes the video valuable to anybody else who doesn't really have sort of a well-defined shop. And actually, I'll be doing another video in a second about how to replace the 3/4 clutch back. I have kind of reconnected everything but the brake lines here. And I'm trying to think that maybe why this is why nobody does it is because the brake lines are kind of getting in the way. But they're a little bit flexible, so I figured, you know, kind of just pull them out of the way. And then let's, you know, take this off here. Perfect. All right. Okay. So on Amazon, there's this handy dandy little tool made by Dorman for, you know, bench bleeding. It's like $7, or it's like $7.99, so $8. Can't forget that last 99 cents. Marketing trick. But, you know, it just comes with these little dimples thing that you hook hoses up to, and then kind of, I'm going with the method where you feed it back through into the master cylinder reservoir. So you kind of have these two hoses here. We're gonna connect some screwed nipples into here and then feed it back through. And that should, I think, get us to where we need to go. They even included some thread tape. So there are these two, which I believe are the right size. They're like, I don't know, probably can't really see that well on camera. There's nothing to really compare it against, but I think these kind of just, I don't think the thread tape is needed because these are plastic. I feel like it'll deform to the threads anyway. Learn from. Perfect. All right, got the first one in. So it's a bigger one in front and a smaller one in back. That's what I'm finding out. That's what I'm remembering now. That. And then the way I've seen it done in the past is that people kind of take, you know, just like a pair of needle nose pliers and just tighten them a little bit more than like hand tight. And this helps keep things from leaking. But figured this way everything was on there. And I really should have done this first. Learn from my mistakes. My first time in the DC area was when I was 17. And that summer was hot and humid. And we were just on a family vacation. And I just did a little tourism of our nation's capital. And it was fun. But I just remember it being super hot. And then I moved out here, and the first summer wasn't that hot. And now this is my 3rd year living here. And this is the summer that I remember of like, oh, like this is the DC sort of like humidity that I remember from when I was 17. You know, in Utah, it's a desert. It's actually the 2nd driest state in the United States. And don't have humid summers at all. So our group was just very, very hot. You know, get over 100 degrees multiple times a year. You know, it's not like Arizona where, you know, it's 115 or whatever, you know, but, you know, usually a couple times, you know, summer gets over, you know, like probably around like 102, 105 or whatever. Anyway, I'm dripping with sweat right now. So now we're cooking with gas, okay. So I've got all the lines connected, I think, pretty well. You know, each one goes into each sort of like reservoir area. Now we're gonna take our brake fluid. Actually, this is just the Walmart brand .3. I read some reports that it's like just as good as like, you know, what's the one that starts with a P? I don't know. Anyway, we're trying it out. That's all I'm saying. This stuff isn't that expensive, and I could have easily bought the more expensive stuff, but I figured, you know, why not give this stuff a shot? Because it's not that expensive, and then if I need to replace it, I have to replace it. But that's, you know, filled it up most of the way just to make sure everything is submerged. So I figured we can go ahead and try to get all the bubbles out now. Making sure sure this is working, kind of. Okay, well, that came out, so. Oof. Looks like there's these handy dandy things to hold them in place that I missed. How does that work? All right. This thing didn't really come with instructions. Not that I'm very good at reading them anyway, but here we are. All right, so looks like we should be good. That's kind of what it looks like. I'm actually just in there hand pumping it. Not even using my feet, kind of just sitting on the side, just that way I can hear the bubbles easier. I'm gonna add a little more fluid here. So it looks like it's working because it's sending fluid through and down through the whole system. Oops. Try not to spill this stuff because it is corrosive. So I'm sure most of you know this, but it's also hypergolic, which means that pretty much as soon as you open a bottle, it tries to start sucking water out of the atmosphere. And so really you can't reuse bottles. Even if you have stuff left, just throw it away, get new stuff. It's not that expensive. Yeah, I don't know. I think pretty much just from what I understand, as soon as the bubbles stop coming up, then like you've kind of done your job. So I'm not really hearing anything. I'm probably gonna do it for like 30 more seconds or whatever, just to make sure we're good. So I think we're pretty much good to go. So I guess from here, we just gotta kind of remove our little lines that we've put in. And then reconnect, the brake lines into their proper spot. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then from there, we'll have to bleed the brake lines. And make sure the air is out of the entire brake system. So I'm really excited to get this done. This truck's kind of been due to the transmission issues, the truck has kind of been out of commission for, I don't know, 6 to 8 months at this point. And it's kind of just sitting here collecting dust, but I love this truck. And my brakes honestly haven't been working properly in quite some time, and I've just done the whole building up pressure in the brake system by pumping the brakes a bunch before I need to use them. But it also makes things dangerous. So anyway, very excited to get that working. Probably check back and see another video on how to properly bleed the brake system on this. You also have to worry a little bit about the ABS, which some people miss. There's a place to bleed the ABS system as well that you can't forget to do. There's my wrench. Here we are. So I think that kind of completes the video. Once I tighten these up here on how to properly bleed this, and hope that you saw another way to do it without the bench vise. The other thing is that the bench vise method, you might make it a little bit cleaner because you're not spilling brake fluid all over your engine bay like me. But that's why you put towels down there, and then hopefully we'll spray some brake cleaner in places that need it. But just now it's just up to making sure that we there's still more everywhere. You know, just bleed the brake system now. Thanks for watching.
So there you have it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. There's more work to be done, so stay tuned because he'll be doing the bleeding of the brakes in the next video. So make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe so you don't miss any new content that's coming out. Thanks again for watching, you guys, and we'll see you on the next video.